Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Art Talk with Susana Baker. We are so happy to be here. Money Man, thank you again for sponsoring the show. And we love 880 The Biz. And we love our guest this morning, which is the songstress, the talented Jessi Campo. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
I am so happy to have you on my show. It's long overdue. I have to tell you that I met you 4 years ago. Brian Thompson, shout out to him, he's doing fantastic. He invited me to the Miami Web Festival, and I went to it, and there was an introduction to Jessi Campo, and out came this beautiful lady dressed in a white and black outfit with Nancy Sinatra boots, patent leather to the thigh. And I said, who is this? And then when you started to sing, I was smitten. I have to tell you, you have such an iconic style in jazz, phenomenal chops, as they would say. And I couldn't believe, and after that, we've been friends, and you've also coached my daughter because you do voice coaching, and she's grown phenomenally with your techniques as well as, mad performing arts that she's there too. A shout out to Sherilyn. But I wanted to ask you, Jessi, I've seen you blow up. I get all your flyers, all your invitations. Jessi Campo, you're on fire. And I want to know, why did you pick, and when did you know your calling was to sing?
Well, I was born to a family of performers. And as I was growing up, my parents performed back in the heydays, and Dad performed in Cuba at the Tropicana in the 60s and 50s. Cool. Then he met Mom, and they did a duo act together. They were in movies. They ended up performing at the Palladium in New York with Tony Bennett, Tito Puente, and Rolando La Serie. So many amazing people.
So you grew up in the dressing room.
I kind of grew up looking through the door of the dressing room and go, that looks really great. I'd love to try that out.
Yeah, and let me tell you, I'm so happy that happened because, your voice really calms me. Oh, and you know how many times I always say, can you please just sing? Oh. And I feel like I'm always getting on your nerves because most people, they come in, they do their job, they leave. But I never let you leave until you sing.
Absolutely. Me. I love singing for
you
I
do.
I do.
So now tell me about your now. I know that there's a movie that's gotten rave reviews. It's all over. Brian Thompson's blowing up with this movie that he directed, wrote, and acted in called El Sueño.
El Sueño, The Dream.
And you did the cover song to that movie.
I actually, I'll tell you the story real quick. I got to tell you the story.
Okay.
Brian Thompson and Roberto Castro, who did the movie, they reached out to me and they said, we want some music for the movie. Send us 7 songs. I was like, okay, I'll send you 7 songs, hoping every songwriter dreams of having at least one song in a movie. They send me back a little tidbit of the movie and say, check it out, see if you like where the song is placed. I'm going through each scene, and there's 6 songs. They took all 6 songs and put them in the movie. Yes, all
That's
6
awesome.
songs.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And the great thing is about that it supports the DREAM Act. The Dreamers and the DREAM Act legislation. So it's also for a wonderful cause. It's about 2 young immigrants that cross the border and come over here to the United States. And their trials and tribulations. The movie's in English.
And El Sueño means the dream.
It means the dream. Everybody wants the American dream. I've been blessed to be born here as a New Yorker.
Yeah.
My parents were immigrants, but I was born here. And it is wonderful to be able to follow your dream. And I get to do it every day and follow my passion as a singer.
I absolutely love that. I love that story. Now, when did you get your break here in Florida? I know your stomping ground on a regular basis has been Books and Books and in Coral Gables.
Yes, when I am here, I travel a lot. That I did several tours in
China
Asia.
too.
Asia. I was in Asia. I was in Singapore, Hong Kong, of course. Came out there and did my thing, and then also went out to Bangkok, Indonesia. So I've toured a lot over in Asia. I got a lot of fans.
They
out
must
in Asia.
love you.
I love them. Just see them dancing when they get up there and do their thing. But they appreciate jazz and have a great appreciation for the American songbook and for music and for talent. And so I did a lot of touring through there. And after that, whenever I'm home, I occasionally will go over to Books and Books to perform in Coral Gables. And then also, I always go to New Orleans twice a year. I try to go and perform in New Orleans. As a matter of fact, I'll be heading over there on the 23rd Actually, 24th and 25th, 23rd and 24th. It's a Friday and Saturday night. I'll be performing out there in New Orleans.
Nice.
I'll be at Prime Example and another venue. So it's always exciting because I get a lot of love in New Orleans. And there's nothing like New Orleans. It's the Mecca of blues and jazz. And those are my influences.
That's the birth of jazz.
That's it.
And I have to tell you, I was at a jazz club in Los Angeles. Oh my God, the Catalina. And I was at the Catalina, and I was doing an interview on Arturo Sandoval for Venue magazine that I write for, and it's all about art. But that particular year, I did something on Arturo Sandoval, and I was talking to the Catalina owner as well as Arturo. The dying art of jazz is like to get people to fill up a jazz club. It's a lot because people with the genre nowadays, the hip hop, this, downloading on. It's a tough industry in the sense of keeping new people running to the stores. I think everything you do is on iTunes, right, or Spotify.
Yeah, you can find my jazz album. I have 4 albums.
4 albums. The newest one is, which one is your newest?
Well, the newest album is called La Pasión de la Lupe. I went back to my Cuban roots.
Okay, and when you say you went back to your Cuban roots, what does that mean? You were lost? You were outside? What was going on?
No. I wasn't lost. I started out as a singer-songwriter. So my first album was a pop album. Uh-huh. And then after the first album that was a pop album, I went ahead and did a second album, which was a jazz album. That was the big jazz album, which you'll hear a cut later from my jazz album, which is an original song that I included on there. And all my albums were bilingual. And that was a lot of covers on that album. But then the third album, I went back to singer-songwriter. And that was the one that 6 songs ended up in the movie El Sueño.
Wow. And you wrote all those songs?
I wrote all those songs. That second album was considered for NAMI consideration for a Grammy. A Latin Grammy pop and a consideration. And then the fourth album, which was La Pasión de la Lupe, that one, I decided to...
And did you write all the songs for La Pasión de la Lupe?
For La Pasión de la Lupe, no. The Cuban diva La Lupe was a famous singer, and she had a lot of great writers, and she ended up doing some heartfelt
songs. I am
songs.
so happy you told me it was a songstress because I thought it was a saint.
No. No, La Lupe is not a saint. La Lupe was a Cuban diva.
To my Cuban
She's
friends.
a songstress, and she was famous, and she was really popular.
Back in Havana?
Well, she started in Havana in the 50s, and then 60s and 70s was very popular in New York, which is, where I was born. So I did a tribute to her thanks to a dear friend of mine, Papa Cruz, who he may rest in peace. Papa Cruz suggested you need to do the old boleros, bring them back to life. Luis Miguel had done them with the boleros.
Yeah.
Michael Bublé did it in the American Frank Sinatra songs. And I wanted to do it as a woman. I want to inspire other women and bring back, like you said, bring back the jazz, bring back the old school bolero, which is like Latin, the Latin flavor jazz, considered that. And so I did this album, and I put one song in there, actually, that was 2 original songs. Right. One was a song I wrote for my father. Aww. Well, it talks about the famous people that he performed with, Rolando Las Series, and also Facundo Rivera. And so I wrote a song for my dad called Vivió la Vida, which is on iTunes or, Google Play. And then I did...
Vivió la Vida means he lived his life.
He lived his life. Nice. He lived his life. And every time at the end of the song, I always cry because I get sentimental because the song at the end says that, and now I live my life like him.
Don't cry now.
No,
I'm very sentimental.
No, now his daughter, I'm his daughter, and I live my life as same way as he did.
Yeah.
Living it to the fullest, enjoying the music and the passion and sharing.
So why don't we treat all our audience to Jessi Campo? Which one are we going to hear you now?
I think we're going to go ahead and do You Leave Me Wanting More. Okay, excellent. This is actually one of the original songs on my jazz album. Uh-huh. You Leave Me Wanting More. And actually, I think this is my manager's favorite song.
Okay, so let's hear You Leave Me Wanting More by Jessi Campo.
Thank you.
You know just how to treat me like a lady. I never had to ask you for a thing. You show up at my doorstep, call me baby. All at once I feel just like a queen. I wish we had more time to be together. unexpectedly. If only our love could be forever. If only you could stay here with me. You leave me wanting more. You leave me wanting each and every sadness and keep me smiling constantly. We have more fun when we don't plan things, not knowing how our day will be. The little things in life give us such pleasure, like cuddling on the couch watching TV. For just a moment we escape together. The door closes and I face reality. You leave me wanting more. You leave me wanting How can we ever give us a try if we don't make time for love in our lives? Now we just live one day at a time. Let's give real love a try. You leave me wanting wanting so much more. You leave me wanting wanting all of you,
Jessi Campo, I gotta tell you, that is an amazing song. Sexy, wonderful, and it does leave you wanting more.
Well, that's the whole idea.
That's the
I
whole
want to leave
idea.
everybody wanting
now,
more.
I want to tell before we got like a few minutes left here, and I want to tell everybody about seeing you live performing, which is such a treat. I mean, your voice is so different from the Spanish to the English. You just got an iconic voice that's very different, and I love it. And so I know that you have been performing in a lot of the circuits of Miami, but you're now doing some great stuff in Miami Beach, some of the new hotels like the Cadillac, which just opened up recently. Absolutely. And you also got a beautiful luxury Sunset Jazz and something that you're doing with a limousine. Tell us a little bit about that.
That's at the Como Metropolitan Hotel. So basically what we're doing right now is my production company has decided to create what's called intimate concerts, where you can come experience my music and my vocal stylings. You can see me in intimate concert settings. So on Thursdays, you can come out and get the luxury sunset. It's on the beach at the Como Metropolitan Hotel at 7 p.m. Come see me do my bilingual jazz and my Spanish and my English and some movie music. And you can come see me do that at the Como Metropolitan Hotel on Thursdays. It's an intimate setting. It's a few hours. Come out, have a drink, have dinner. But if you make a reservation, you can go ahead and get limo service to and from your home in Miami, and also get a complimentary glass of wine, and also you get an appetizer.
And that's $30 a person.
That's
for that
$30 a
VIP
person. Yeah,
doing.
minimum 6 people. I mean, $15 alone is a drink in South Beach. On South Beach.
Yeah, and the valet is another $15.
And the valet's another $35.
And an appetizer is another $20.
Yeah. So for $30,
I love it.
you can't beat it. And all you do is you either go to myticketon.com or you go to aluxury.limo. Or
better yet,
I'd rather you directly hit me up. Let me know that you heard me here with Susana Baker. You're going to hit me up on my Facebook page. Go to Jessi Campo Music. Jessi Campo Music. Jessi's Jessi, Campo is Campo, music. And on Facebook, find me there. And you just send me a message. You heard me out with Susana Baker being interviewed. And we'll get all you VIPs, all you girls' night out.
Yeah.
We'll get you out there on that limo service, car service.
I love it. You know,
The Cadillac is also on Fridays.
it's on Fridays, same time, 7 o'clock.
Same time.
So anywhere from Miami-Dade, you can
pick
hit
you
you
up,
up
drop you
at the
off.
Jessi Campo Music Facebook page and tell you, hey, I was on Art Talk. I listened to Art Talk with Susana Baker. I want a limo service. I'm celebrating.
And I'll take care of you and leave you wanting more.
I love that. So Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Jessi, Jessi, Campo, Campo, and then on Facebook,
Music.
finish it with music.
Yeah.
Jessi Campo Music.
Absolutely.
You know,
That's also where they can check me out and everything else.
I
Twitter
love
and
it. I love that you also do a lot of voice coaching for children.
Yes.
You're a big
Yes.
hand and legacy and leaving all these minions out there with good voices and good techniques. And so now Art Talk with Susana Baker had a great morning listening to Jessi Campo. I can't wait to see El Sueño, listen to your 6 original tracks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Nice.
And so next week, Friday, see you with Art Talk with Susana Baker. Have a blessed, safe weekend.
Thank
We love
you
you.
for having me on the show at last.
Thank you.
At last, my love has come along.
Thank you.
Only unexpectedly.